limitation is a self-limitation. And I'll give you an example of that. After I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I wanted to go build skyscrapers. And so I have not built a skyscraper, even though I have 20 years experience, hundreds of millions of real estate. And so I was like, I'm going to go at some point build a skyscraper. And I was in Miami years ago. I'd finished up, grad school, and I was like, man, with this, my experience, once I'm able to do so many hundreds of millions of dollars, then I can go do a skyscraper, a big deal like that. And I met this kid, and I say kid, 28, 30-year-old kind of guy. He had just finished a 50-story condo project in Miami Beach, and he made $30 million profit. And I was like, what? How'd you do that? Like, what'd you do? Like, you think, he's like, 3 years ago, I came to this country. I had no money, no credit, no experience. I think he was from Venezuela. No money, no anything. I literally went and put an offer on a piece of parcel that was on the market, listed on the market. And down the street, there was a sign for a contractor and the architect that were doing this other 50-story building. And I went to them and I said, hey, I want to do one of those projects over here on this lot. Can you put together plans and tell me what that cost is? And they put together plans and they put together a cost and they put it together. And he just like literally walked around as, hey, I'm doing this project, and found an agent to broker it. They were able to get people to buy in and put down deposits on the project, and they built it out. And so he didn't do a market study. He didn't do competitive analysis. He didn't put together funding on it, just put it in contract. Architect, the engineer, put together the plans. The people came through. He was then able to convince a few people in Miami that, hey, I'm gonna go do this deal and you can make some money and some profits off of it. 2 years time, built it. He made $30 million, the first real estate project he's ever done in his entire life. Was the dream project that I was like, in 20 years of experience, that I could possibly do this thing, that had no credit, no experience, and hadn't even lived in this country more than 3 years ago, came out and did that as the very first project. And I was just like hit me over the head with a 2x4. And I was like, how many limiting beliefs have I started to believe about myself that says I can't go do $100 million development project as the first project I ever do? Like it rocked me. And so when you look at it and say, hey, this $10 million deal, guess what? There are ways to do $10 million deals with no money. There are ways to do $10 million, $100 million with no money. No. So your goal is finding out the ways to do those deals with no money. And what's interesting about commercial real estate, and especially real estate as a whole, is you get a free option. And so, if you trade in the stock market, you may know that there's options. You can exercise and put down a price that in the future, if Tesla goes and it's $1,000 a share, I can sell it at the $420, and then I can make the profit and the difference. And so what's interesting about commercial real estate is you can go and tie a piece of property up in escrow. And if you don't like the deal, you can walk away. Well, while you're in escrow, tied up, controlling it, you have a very intensive time period to try to figure out all the things that could possibly go wrong with this deal to make it not a slam dunk. And so what you could do is you can achieve the grand slam dunk deal while you're in escrow. $7 million building, you can go list it and find a tenant that wants it. That tenant will sign a 10-year lease, and then you can have a forward commitment from a private equity group that'll buy it for a 6 cap, which is $20 million if you get that tenant. You can do all this stuff while in escrow and eliminate all the risk and the variables in a commercial deal. And then when you go take it to the bank, you go, hey, look at all the ways that I've eliminated the risk. Will you give me a loan? And they'll give you 100% of the financing plus the fix-up cost, because they think it's a great deal and it's based on the credit worthiness of the tenant. It has nothing to do with you.